The cabin exploded into chaos. A deafening scream tore through the aisle as a masked man leaped from seat 4C, yanked a terrified flight attendant by the arm, and pressed a handgun against her shoulder. "Nobody move," he roared. "Anyone tries to be a hero, she dies first." Gasps echoed through the aircraft. Overhead bins rattled as the plane suddenly jolted through unexpected turbulence. Drinks splashed onto the floor. Babies cried. Someone prayed out loud. Another masked man sprinted toward the cockpit while a third blocked the rear aisle, gripping what looked like an assault rifle. "Keep your heads down! Phones away! Eyes on the floor!" Fear spread faster than the panic itself. The CEO of Lawson Technologies, Richard Lawson, instinctively reached for his phone before freezing as the nearest hijacker pointed the weapon directly at him. "You?" the man barked. "Drop it." Richard slowly placed the phone on the floor. Just 3 rows behind him sat Ethan Brooks. Unlike everyone else, Ethan didn't panic. His heartbeat quickened, but his face remained calm. Beside him, his 10-year-old daughter Lily clutched his arm so tightly her tiny fingers trembled. "Dad," she whispered, tears filling her eyes. "What's happening?" Ethan gently squeezed her hand. "Look at me, sweetheart." She did. "I'm right here. As long as we're together, you're going to be okay." She nodded, trying to believe him. Around them, passengers cried, pleaded, and whispered desperate messages to loved ones before hiding their phones. One elderly woman sobbed uncontrollably. A young businessman buried his face in his hands. A mother held both of her children against her chest. The fear was contagious. But Ethan wasn't watching the passengers. He was watching the hijackers. 1, 2, 3. He counted silently. Their movements, their positions, their voices, their mistakes. The man guarding the aisle kept checking his watch. Another repeatedly adjusted his grip on the rifle. Too nervous, too inexperienced. That tiny detail told Ethan something important. These men had weapons, but they weren't professionals. The cockpit door slammed shut. Seconds later, the captain's voice disappeared from the speakers. Silence. Heavy. Terrifying. Silence. Then one of the hijackers grabbed the intercom. "This aircraft is under our control. Cooperate, and you might live." Might. That single word sent another wave of terror through the cabin. Lily buried her face in Ethan's shoulder. He kissed the top of her head. "It's okay. But you're scared too." He smiled softly. "Everyone gets scared, even you. Especially me." "Then why aren't you shaking?" "Because courage isn't about not being afraid." She looked up. "It's about doing the right thing even when you are." Those words settled into her frightened heart. A few seats ahead, Richard Lawson overheard every word. For the first time since boarding the plane, he turned to study the quiet father behind him. He looked ordinary. Faded jeans, simple jacket, wedding ring still on his finger. Nothing about him suggested he would stand out. Yet while everyone else was losing hope, he looked like he was thinking, watching, calculating. The hijacker suddenly marched down the aisle again. "You!" he shouted at a teenager. "Stand up." The boy froze. I can't." "I said stand up." The gun rose. Instantly, Ethan spoke. "Leave him alone." Every passenger turned. The hijacker slowly faced Ethan. "What did you say?" "I said he's just a kid." The cabin became so quiet that even breathing sounded loud. The hijacker walked toward Ethan until the barrel of the gun rested inches from his forehead. "You think you're brave?" "No." "You want to die?" "No." "Then keep your mouth shut." Ethan never looked away. "I will." The hijacker sneered before shoving Ethan back into his seat. Smart choice. As he walked away, Ethan noticed something else. The man's safety catch wasn't engaged correctly. Another mistake. Another clue. He wasn't trained. Lily leaned closer. "Dad, why did you do that?" "Because bullies count on people staying silent." "What if he shot you?" Ethan looked into her frightened eyes. "Then you'd remember your father tried to protect someone who couldn't protect himself." Tears rolled down Lily's cheeks. She wrapped both arms around him. "I don't want you to leave me. You won't lose me today." He hoped that promise wasn't one he couldn't keep. If you're already on the edge of your seat, take a second to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments, what would you do if you were trapped on a hijacked plane? As the plane continued across the dark sky, Ethan quietly shifted his attention toward the cockpit. Something wasn't right. The aircraft had changed direction. He knew because he had been watching the flight map before everything began. Now the stars outside the window no longer matched the route. His stomach tightened. Wherever these men were taking the plane, it wasn't anywhere they were supposed to land. And unless someone stopped them soon, every soul on board, including his daughter, was running out of time.